The Bovril Gang Podcast.
So work last night, it was all going fine until about 5 to 6 until 3 blokes tried to kick the shit out of each other and then tried to kick the shit out of me.
Really?
Oh mate, it was so much fun.
Were they uni students?
Yeah, it's boxing, mate. Brings out all the fucking plebs.
No,
it's funny though.
It doesn't.
It's so funny though. Like, obviously we have to stop letting in at some point, and we stopped letting in just before the main fight.
Okay.
So there was a big, and the bar's got like glass windows on the side, so you can still see the fucking screen from outside. So we'd stop letting people in, and people were kicking off. Like, I want to speak to the manager. I was like, you're not coming in.
I am the manager.
Yeah, I'm the manager.
I am the law.
Yeah, I am the law. I've got a badge and everything. And we stopped letting in, and then so there was about 25 people stood outside that we'd not let in.
Mm.
So they weren't really our problem. And then as soon as the fight finished and we started getting people out through one of the side doors around the corner, this fucking fight broke out with these people that were stood outside. So I run round to make sure that no one's like getting their head kicked in. And everyone who'd been inside had run round to watch it because at 6 o'clock in the morning,
it's exciting.
What do lads want?
Yeah.
They want to see a fight.
A bit of fucking violence.
It was just two lads. It was like one of them had the tiniest little fucking mark on his face. And, yeah.
Just getting mouthy or what?
Yeah. And they're all lip. They're literally all lip. Like, it's so funny.
So the thing is, right?
They'll call you a cunt as they back off. You're a fucking prick, mate. I know.
So
like,
when you get a pub full of people that actually know how to fight, there's no fights, right? There is no fights.
Yeah.
So I was in Adelaide for the UFC about 3 years ago, right? And we went to this pub that was like the official after party pub. Now Adelaide, if you don't know it, pretty small city in Australia, like big enough but not that big. This was the only pub that gave a flying fuck about what these cunts were going to do after the UFC had finished, right? So they ramped up security. They were like, oh, everyone's going to be getting really violent, whatever. The most peaceful pub ever. All blokes, so much respect, drinking, chatting, having a great time. I was chatting to the security guy. I was like, "How many fights tonight?" He's like, "None at all." He was like, "We can't believe it." He's like, "We've ramped up like extra security," and I was like, "That's what you get. A pub full of people that know combat, know the consequences, and know that it's not going to happen." Now, Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, you get a bunch of kids that only watch one boxing fight a year
and think they're fucking experts.
Yeah,
honestly,
think
it's
they're
so
fucking
funny.
Mike Tyson.
Oh my god! And it's like they sit there. And they literally will never watch another fight until it's the next big one. They don't have a fucking clue who anyone is.
See, I wake up every weekend and watch fights. Yeah, I live for it.
That's great. And then there's the people, but I bet you don't go around going, "Oh, but I know exactly who's going to win this, that, and that," and don't act like a fucking expert. They all think they're on the fucking panel, mate, getting an interview beforehand about who's going to win. None of them have got a fucking clue.
I didn't think Tyson Fury was going to do as well as he did, but I was very impressed.
Yeah, it was an interesting one to watch. Like, I'm into boxing, but I'd never confess to trying to be a fucking expert. No way. I know who's who.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Like,
I know what I'm watching, but no, it was good. It was a good fight.
That's good.
Just a late night, mate.
I know.
7 a.m.
As he says, rubbing his eyes like.
I know, mate. And I took home a key to like a fire door.
Okay.
Because obviously we have to lock this fire door at the end of the night, and I took it home by accident. So I had to go back and take it in this morning because having it locked while we were open was pretty fucking illegal. But I had to crawl back in at half an hour ago. Run up there and run up here. Sweating like fuck.
So are you originally from Manchester?
No, I'm not. I'm from Grimsby, which is...
Grimsby Town,
Grimsby Town, mate. I'm a big Grimsby Town fan as well. And they're playing right now. So if you see me check my phone at any point, it's just to see how they're getting on.
What are they? Are they in Championship?
No, League 2, mate.
League 2?
League 2, yeah.
What the fuck? So what is it like following a team that is so dog shit?
Oh, mate, it's the best. And I think...
Tell me why.
The best thing about it, right, is I think because it's a constant negatives.
Okay.
And the constant negatives, years and years of just fucking misery and shit, and watching shit football and travelling to shit places. I go watch them when I can. I travel quite far to go watch them.
Like, where's the furthest you've travelled?
Oh, that's like London, like other side of the country. Yeah, right to the north, right down to London. If I'm not working or gigging, I'll try and get as far as I can. And the standard, don't be wrong, it's compared to what you watch on the telly, it's shocking. And the places that you go in are shocking. There's no roofs, there's no seats. You just stood on a concrete block with a pie which has never seen a fucking microwave, and like a Bovril which costs £2. It's
what?
Bovril. You've never had Bovril?
What is it? A beer?
No, Bovril is it's effectively fucking liquid gravy. It's like beef stock in a drink.
What?
I didn't realise how much of a British thing. Have you never had it?
No, I don't even know what the fuck it is.
Oh, mate. I'm going to get you some next time I
We
see
need
you.
to go to a Grimsby town game and have some Bovril in a pie.
It's not exclusive to us, mate. It's everywhere. But I can't believe it. Right, next time I see you, I'm going to bring you some Bovril.
Mate, I came here to immerse myself in the culture. And this is what I was looking for.
Yeah, lower league football and beef flavoured drinks. But the best thing is,
it's a drink.
Yeah, it's effectively a hot drink that is. It's like a beef stock, like a beef gravy.
But why would you buy it?
Because it's hot and it tastes like beef. And I'm vegetarian, and it's vegetarian. It's a vegetarian beef based.
What the fuck?
But when you're stood in the middle of like fucking Shropshire on a Saturday afternoon in the pissing rain with no cover, like there's no roof, there's no seats, you just stood there with 800 other miserable fucking wet pricks watching, let's be honest, horrible football. When you've watched that for years and years and years and never had any like positives, when the positives happen, it's fucking amazing.
And people just kick off. Like,
it's just mental, mate. So like people who like follow United and City and stuff, like it's great that that's their, if it is their local team, that they've got a local team that's successful. Like round here, obviously there's loads of fans though. Yeah. And like Arsenal fans, Liverpool fans, whatever. But supporting a proper shit team, fans of those big clubs will never know what it's like to win the 4th division playoffs, and get promoted and then get relegated a year later. It's just a completely different drama and different aspirations. It's brilliant.
I don't know why I know Grimsby Town, but I think it's just literally because of FIFA, and I've seen them and I've been like, these people must be the shittest team.
And they are, mate. And we are. But it's honestly, mate, they're my, I'm not afraid to admit it, they're my life. I absolutely love them. And
do you know like all the players?
Of course, mate. Yeah.
And have you met them? Like, because those lower level teams, like I went to a Morecambe game, right, when I was working with.
I'm so sorry.
Okay, I was working with Capital, right, and they had like a conjunction thing because we were launching up in like the Cumbria.
It's called the Globe Arena, isn't it? Has it got anything to do with? I don't know if that's a radio.
It could be. I don't know.
No.
I don't know. But we were out the front anyway, and just to see the fans walking in, they were so excited. Their fucking mascot is a prawn cunt.
Yeah, mate.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And the players, like these young kids that were like younger than me and you, were standing out the front talking to little kids and whatever. And I was like, this is quite a nice life. Like, where these kids live is so remote. They go to school during the week, and then at the weekend they get to watch their favourite team
the pinnacle
and meet
of their
the players.
Week. Yeah, that is the pinnacle of people in small towns like Grimsby. People who follow the football teams. Yeah. Saturday afternoon is the pinnacle of the week. They wait all week for it. Yeah. Have a few beers with their mates, go to the game, and make a day of it. And it's in small towns where there's not a lot else to do. It's a big thing, and like the communities that football clubs bring with them in a little town. It's buzzing, mate. I've not met many, if any, of the current teams. I've not lived in Grimsby for years, mate.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, when did you leave?
Oh, about 8 years ago.
Okay.
I've not lived at home for about 8 years. I've sort of moved around. I've been in Manchester for about 2 years now.
Okay.
But yeah, mate, I love it. And the best thing about supporting a miserable team that is doing so bad, it really fits my persona. I think if I supported a team that was successful and won week in, week out, it wouldn't fit me. I don't suit positive energy.
Really?
No, mate.
I find that
it's
about
fun being miserable, though, isn't it?
No.
I really enjoy it, mate. I'd much prefer to have something to moan
You're
about.
Like positive about being miserable
because it's so much fun, mate. If I've got nothing to moan about, I'll fucking find something. Be it football or life or anything, I will go out of my way to find something to be fucking miserable about. Anything.
You've tuned into the Moaners podcast with Chris Copestake, comedian extraordinaire and all-round lanky bloke.
I'm dead fun to come watch, honest. I'm not miserable as fuck.
Your comedy is a bit moany, isn't it?
Yeah, mate.
I'm thinking about the bits as it flies back to me. You should write a bit about Bovril. I'm very excited by it.
I didn't realise it was such a cultural phenomenon, but I think I will now.
I've met a lot of English people. Like, I haven't closed my doors and been very insular since I've been here, and I still have not come across this.
Oh, mate, I think there will be a lot of British people that still don't know that that's a thing.
Yeah.
But I think
a beef-flavoured drink that's suitable for vegetarians.
It's quite a working class thing, you know what I mean? Like the working class British people, especially up north. I don't know if they have it so much down south, but...
Fuck down south,
yeah, mate. They're different.
Have you lived down south?
I've never lived down south. I've always lived up north.
Good man.
My brother lives in London, and my best mate lives in London, so I'm down there quite a lot.
Yeah.
So seeing how the other half live...
Fucking sandwiches from Pret.
Yeah, mate. They don't have gravy in the chip shops. That's not a thing down south. It's curry sauce or like, that's it.
Whereas up here you get curry sauce and gravy.
And mushy peas.
Buyer's choice, mate.
Mate, you've got everything. There's just those little pots and those big awful ladles full of...
Yeah.
They've never been washed.
Yeah.
No one cares.
Yeah. Why would you care?
I'd like to know...
Brexit's coming. There's no time to wash the ladles.
I'd love to see whereabouts in the country the mushy peas and gravy just stop. It's got to be like...
The line.
Be like...
Birmingham?
Northampton or somewhere shit like that it just stops. And people go, no. It's curry sauce or nothing.
So is mushy peas like a northern thing? Like you wouldn't even serve mushy peas down there. It's not like they wouldn't serve it with chips. They just wouldn't serve it at all.
I think so. I think mushy peas in particular. I think it's quite a northeast thing.
Yeah.
Like Grimsby's quite famous for fish and chips because it was one of the biggest fishing ports in the world. So
is it northeast Grimsby?
Yeah. So it's just next to Hull. So it's just down the coast from
near Hornsey.
Yeah, a bit further down the coast from that. So near Scarborough and Skegness and places like that. And because we've literally got nothing else to talk about apart from fish.
Yeah.
We're dead passionate about it, dead proud of it. Like, if people go, your town stinks of fish, we're like, it fucking does, mate. And we have it no other way.
We fucking love it.
We fucking love it. But mushy peas is just like, it's just a given, do you know what I mean? It's like having milk with tea. You just have mushy peas with fish and chips. That is it.
You are like one of the most English people I think I've ever met. Like, you're so passionate about all these English things. Like, all the things
I definitely voted Remain just to get that out there now. Just staunchly northern, working class, but I love it. Yeah. I think just the north's the best, isn't it?
Could you live anywhere else? Have you thought about like moving to Spain or Canada?
I really wanted to move to Denmark once. I went on holiday to Denmark with an ex-girlfriend about 4 years ago. Okay. And I fucking loved it. If you've never been, go.
I'm going.
Copenhagen is immense. Yeah. It's quite small. Like, compared to Manchester, it's tiny. But it's just cool as fuck, mate.
How would you get over the not Danish speaking part of things?
Well, first of all, they speak, obviously, everyone who doesn't live in England is educated enough to know a second language. It's only us over here that think...
Australia's the same, mate. Don't get it twisted.
But, side
English
note,
speakers just don't have to learn another
language.
And
I think in this country that they should teach a foreign language from 4 years old, because that's when it's easiest to get it in kids' heads. Just teach it from 4 like they do across the continent, and people will know a second language. It's that fucking simple. Yeah. But no, we're too arrogant to do that.
But what language do we pick though? There's too many options. Whereas English has become the universal language.
Yeah, that's the thing. You'd give parents the choice.
The problem is though, is that people that speak English, especially in this country, can't even do that well. You know what I mean? Like, they struggle to get
absolutely.
that.
Oh my god! But I think if sort of year 4, year 5, whatever, even younger, sort of 6 years old at the latest, you give parents the choice to pick a language for their kids to learn, be it one of the big ones, so Mandarin, Spanish, French, German, Portuguese, those sort of languages, the ones that are used in over sort of 5% of the population of the world. Give them the choice. I think it would just help sort of international. It would. I think Britons wouldn't be so hated.
Do you know what the Faroe Islands is?
I know the Faroe Islands.
Okay, so off the coast of Denmark, right? Yeah. So we had an exchange student when I was living in New Zealand from the Faroe Islands. He came to New Zealand to learn English, right? Wow. Then he went from New Zealand to China to learn Mandarin, and now he lives in Germany.
That's cool.
He's just a man of the world.
That's amazing. See, I think that's cool, and having the ability to speak multiple languages is a fucking skill. Yeah. I'd love to speak.
But he'd just go to a country and be like, don't know the language, I'm gonna find out, and just live there, just set up a new life.
But imagine being able to go to another country and gig in their language.
Yeah.
Like, imagine being... I don't know what the comedy scene's like in Spain, but imagine being able to go over to Spain and be able to knock out a pretty decent 20-minute set in Spanish.
And then right at the end be like, what up, I'm from fucking Grimsby.
Pull off my Spain shirt.
Underneath it's just fucking Grimsby till I die.
Have a big tattoo with a fish on my chest. I fucking love it.
Mushy peas on your ass.
Just have a cup that's been there the whole time. People think it's a pint and it's actually just peas in a cup. Like, I've been drinking peas for the entire night, you fucking Catalonian pricks. Like.
Fuck Valencia.
Yeah. But yeah, I had this really weird fascination with Denmark for a while because I went over there. It was like really,
was it the infrastructure or the lifestyle?
everything,
like,
mate. It was just the nicest place. It was fucking lovely and clean and beautiful, and it was a good night out, and there was like the culture was amazing.
What part of Denmark did you go to?
Copenhagen.
Just Copenhagen.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I properly looked into like moving over there.
Have you heard of an area called Randers or Randers?
Randers, yeah. Randers, yeah.
It's really rough, isn't it?
Yeah, it's weird Denmark because it's massive. Like square mileage, it's huge, but people don't live in any of it.
Yeah.
Because it's all like just fjords and shit. But there's a place, I think it's in Billund, which is in the middle of fucking nowhere, which is where Lego is. That's the base of Lego. And I read this book, I can't remember, I'll find out her name in a second. She used to be a writer for The Guardian.
Okay.
And her husband got a big job at Lego, so she moved over to this middle of fucking nowhere in Denmark with her husband. And she wrote a book about it. It's called A Year of Living Danishly. I'm going to find out her name actually. Helen something. And it's buzzing. And I read this book and I was like, I want to live in the middle of nowhere in Denmark and play with Lego all day.
You're just a fucking madman.
Mate, it was, yeah.
Because I met these girls while I was travelling through Southeast Asia that were from Randers, and they were really nice, but they told us where they were from, thinking that we should know. And I was like, oh yeah, from Denmark. And they're like, no, you don't understand. Like anyone from like those Eastern Bloc countries, you know, like Finland, Sweden, all that, you say Randers and they're just like, oh, gross, like terrible. And they'd have memes about it and be like a taxi in Randers and it's like a Dutch police car or something.
I like that is there because everywhere in this country's got that sort of place which is a bit jokey. I don't know if it's Blackpool or like
it's Blackburn, mate.
Blackburn or Blackpool, like anywhere.
Rochdale.
Yeah, because everyone's got that joke town in the area.
Yeah.
But it's nice to know that that's a global thing and not just a British thing as well. Helen Russell's her name, by the way. Like
Helen Russell.
Don't be wrong, it's not a comedy book.
Shout out to you, Helen.
But it's funny and it's really good.
Yeah. And it's just honest.
It's honest because it's just a year in her life of her and her fella moving over to the middle of fucking nowhere and living in a different culture.
Question for you.
Yes.
Would you, if you found the right girl, give up your life to follow them somewhere else?
Do you know what? I've been asked this before, and
by who?
People with not a lot else to talk about. Like, so we just sat there having a cup of tea and like, Chris, would you move away with a girl? Do you know what? I have, because obviously I've been asked about this before. I have thought about it, and I really think it's circumstantial.
Yeah.
If I thought she was the one, that was it. Then probably But I'd find a way to try and do comedy wherever it was.
Yeah.
Unless it was somewhere like weird.
Yeah.
Like
Wigan.
There's no sense of humour in Wigan. Somewhere like that. I can't imagine the comedy scene is huge. I don't know. Say I fell in love with someone from Ghana, and she wanted to move back to Ghana, and I was like, sound. What's the comedy scene like in Ghana? And she's like, what? Is the comedy scene the be all and end all for you? Like, is that where you want to go? No, but if at the minute I can't see anything else, I'm not saying if.
Have you tried other things?
Mate, I've worked in pubs and restaurants and bars since I was 16. I literally have no other skills.
Yeah.
I am so narrow casted into one profession, and it's the worst profession. I literally picked the worst thing because I had no other skills, and I'm petrified that I'm going to be there forever. So
this needs to work so you can stop pouring fights.
I really need to be funny quickly.
Yeah.
Like, I need to find a sense of humour quickly, mate, because if I'm in 20 years' time, if I'm still working in pubs and stuff, I'm going to try and find the easiest way to end it all, because I just can't see it. Like some people who work in pubs at my age are like, the goal for them is to have their own pub in the country, that sort of thing. That's nice, that's fine. I think I would kill myself. Yeah. I just can't see it.
We don't want that, Chris.
No.
As funny as that would be.
No, I don't want that, mate. Like, there's a lot of people don't understand the amount of paperwork involved in suicide. There's quite a lot of paperwork involved. And I'm just not.
You're an environmental guy. You like saving the trees.
Yeah, I don't want to waste the paper. I literally have no other skills, mate. That's it.
Does that like scare you in a way that you?
No, I think it makes me more sort of determined to pull my finger out.
Yeah.
If I'm sat there on a night time, just fucking sat in the flat, watching telly.
Yeah.
And like, what the fuck am I doing? I'm not advancing. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with having a night off.
Not bettering yourself.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with taking a night off just to sit and watch some TV. But if I'm not doing anything productive or bettering myself in any way, be it sat there writing a joke or watching something as like a documentary about comedy or something. I'm not like obsessed with comedy. I've got loads of other interests and stuff. Mainly standing in fucking the middle random towns watching shit football. But yeah, I just don't want to get to the point where I've got no other options.
Yeah.
I want to try this and stuff like this while I've still got the energy and the passion to do it.
So with the energy and the passion, do you feel like you have time now for, like, is a relationship and a family even in the mindset for you? Or is it...
Oh mate, yes, but I am I'm just so needy.
Like, in what sense?
Do you know what? I'm alright on my own. Like, I've not had a proper relationship in quite a couple of years, and I'm fine. Like, I'm fine on my own. But if I do, when I've been with people in the past, I'm a bit needy, mate. In
what sense? Like, you need a cuddle, or you need like them to do your washing? Or
no. I'm self-sufficient, mate.
Okay.
I'm sound. I'm just a bit like, we're all attention seekers, aren't we? That people do
absolutely,
this.
Mate. You're looking at the biggest one right here.
So I just want constant attention. I just want people to tell me I'm funny, tell me I'm pretty, tell me that I cooked a nice meal. Do you know what I mean? I don't need to be in
someone. Everyone wants them, isn't it? You're not that weird for wanting that.
And I don't need to be in someone's back pocket all the time.
Okay.
I don't need to be with someone 24/7. That's just not. I'd end up getting fucking bored of them, and then
you've got to have space.
Yeah, but I think I'm too needy right now to. Yeah.
Like you feel like you're too much of a drag on somebody else.
Yeah,
maybe?
mate, I'm too miserable.
Okay.
I'm way too miserable.
But you're not sad, are you? You're just miserable. Like you don't wake up in the morning and be like, oh, what's the point? Like, you're alright, like, going out and doing things during the day.
I love getting up in the morning. Genuinely, like, I know
you're full of energy.
Yeah, I want to get out and talk to people and fucking do stuff. I want to, like, be out of the house and gig and fucking just chat to people and do stuff and meet mates for drinks or whatever. I like being out and doing stuff. I'm not sad. I'm just miserable as shit.
I'm not sad. I'm just miserable.
Yeah, I think there's a fine line, and
I sort of understand that in a way, because my experience, obviously, you probably have the question on your lips of why did you move to England? Why would you come here?
I can see why a lot of people come here. Especially
why do you think I came here? I'd like to hear it.
Well, obviously, you work in radio, don't you? So I think radio over here is still quite a strong format, whereas in other countries it might not be so much. Maybe in sort of the Western world, Australia and America, radio isn't what it was, whereas over here it's still quite a powerful media format that people are still really engaging with.
Yeah.
Maybe because of that, and maybe because you just wanted to test yourself against the elements.
That was literally it. That's pretty spot on. Like, I came over here with like the mindset of like, I'm going to set the radio world on fire. They're all going to want to hire me.
Yeah.
Got here and basically was told by the commercial director for Global, no commercial radio stations in this country will have you on air in prime time because you sound too different. You're too much of a risk for advertisers because you don't have a profile. If someone tunes in, they hear this voice and they go, oh, I don't like that, they'll just switch off.
Unfortunately, you can see the point.
Yeah.
Like, it's a shame that is a thing.
Yeah.
But
it's all about advertising, mate.
It is, mate. And it's a shame that that's the case for someone with an Australian accent, which is quite recognisable, instantly recognisable to most people, and a lot more accepted. The shame is that sort of the reasoning that guy or girl is given to you will unfortunately also mean the same for people with sort of Asian accents and subcontinent accents and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's a form of discrimination in a way.
It is.
But the way that they've told you about that made it sound okay when it's not.
Yeah.
Because someone's voice sounds a bit funny.
Yeah.
We can't have them on radio. That's ridiculous.
It's too much of a risk for them. But the thing for them is, like, if you come over here with a profile, so there's people on radio now that are Australian, there's people over here on radio that are Indian. Like, is it Anish Kumar?
Obviously, this Kumar is obviously an English comedian.
Who's the guy that has the like slight Indian accent?
There's more than one. There's a few.
There's a guy, but he's got a profile though. He's famous for other things.
There's the BBC Asian Network, which is quite a big radio station, which has, as far as I'm aware, 99%, if not 100%, Asian presenters and newsreaders and stuff.
Yeah.
And there was a radio presenter called Nihal, who used to be on Radio 1.
Yeah.
I don't think he is anymore, but he had quite a received pronunciation voice. He was quite proper English spoken. He didn't have a strong Asian accent at all.
Yeah.
But you're right. Like, I can't, off the top of my head, I can't think of an Australian or a Kiwi or a South African or an American prime time radio or TV presenter.
There's Adam Hills, who's made it into TV, but he was famous in Australia, and he's a famous stand-up comedian.
Yeah, he
you
went
have
into
a
the comedy
profile,
bit,
and then it comes out. Because I have no profile, I have to build a profile to then be accepted. And that was part of it as well.
Yeah.
Because obviously, I built a profile just in my little area in Brisbane, so people knew who I was there. But then I came here and I bought all my stuff, all my tapes. I was like, listen to how good I was in Australia. And they go, we don't give a fuck. Literally nobody cared. I just had to start from the bottom all over again.
Yeah, but I think when you get there, it'll feel like a second achievement. Like you've done it in one country, and having to start at the bottom and doing it again. I think it'll feel like a second achievement when you get there.
I'm trying. I'm
You'll
really
get there.
trying.
It'll take. Don't be wrong. It'll take a while. Anything that's worth having takes time.
Well, I've only got a very short amount of time left here, so officially my visa runs out in 12 months from now.
You're going to reapply though,
but
aren't you?
I'm going to get my work to sponsor me so I can extend, so I can stay with my girlfriend.
Yeah.
And once she finishes her degree, we're back to Australia, mate.
Yeah.
I can't stay here for too long.
Why would you want to?
Look outside, cunt.
Look how fucking miserable it is. That's a shade of grey they don't even have in the Dulux catalogue. It's shocking. Just fucking cranes and clouds.
What do you think of Manchester? Do you think it is one of the fastest growing and most vibrant and cultural cities?
I love it, right? Obviously, Grimsby's quite a small town. It's quite a small northern town, quite a working class, white town. So for the first 18 years of my life, that's all I knew. And eventually sort of moving around the country and then coming to somewhere like this, which has got so much going on. It's constantly improving and getting better and growing, not just outwards but upwards. Like as we can see out the window here, it's literally going up.
You can see 14 cranes just from my window.
Mate, that building there, the new block of flats, is going to be the second biggest, or the biggest building outside of London in the country.
Really?
Yeah, it's fucking nuts, man. It's literally there. I think that's nuts, and I live just around the corner from it as well. So having that view in the morning of something so big and like the Hilton and stuff, massive buildings, I just like being around stuff like that.
Yeah. And
it's so multicultural, this city. Like I live in Hume, obviously next to Moss Side, and it's quite an ethnically diverse part of the town.
Yeah.
And I fucking love it, man, because I've never lived anywhere like that. And I felt a bit bad at first when I moved there and noticed it, but that just showed that where I grew up was very white and very working class and British. It didn't have many Eastern European immigrants or anything. It was quite old school.
Do you find the food around Hume is a lot better?
Oh mate, yeah. The amount of,
I love you.
Oh mate, just food and sort of just attitudes and accents and everything. The cultures that the world has brought to a city like Manchester. Yeah, it's fucking brilliant, mate. The city wouldn't be the same if it wasn't for people who've moved here. Not just this generation, but generation past, mate. I love it. Like I said, I've only been here 2 years, and like we were saying a minute ago, if something came up to make me move away, be it to London for work or to another country for whatever, I'd never say no. But it's pretty cool here, isn't it?
It's hard to. It'd be hard to turn away from here. I like from what you've created here. You've created quite a nice life for yourself. Yeah,
it's all right. Like, don't be wrong. I'm nowhere near done. I'm not finished.
No one's a finished product.
No,
Chris.
mate. Like, no one is finished.
That's right.
Perfect is just a word. But yeah,
it's just an idea.
Yeah, it's not. It's just a concept.
Yeah.
No, but I love it, mate. I think Manchester's cool, and I think it's only going to get better. And the traffic's a fucking prick, and.
Do you drive?
I do drive, yeah.
Oh, right.
I do drive. I don't drive around town.
Yeah.
There's just no
Makes
fucking
no
point.
sense.
I live in town. Everything's 5 minutes away, especially on these legs.
Yeah.
Literally everything's 5 minutes away. Like, I'll meet you at the arena. Yeah, we're there in 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Done. It's purely just for driving around the country, mate, for gigs.
Yeah. So how long have you been doing stand-up for?
About a year and a half.
Okay.
So like in the grand scheme of things, still dead new. And I'm dead chuffed with how far I've got in a relatively short space of time. And I know that it's sort of above average. I'm gigging at better places than I should be for the amount of time I've been doing it. But I'm not naive enough to know that means I'm fucking sick, because I am not.
Yeah.
I am still, I'm reliable at best.
Yeah.
Like, I will. This analogy might not make sense to a lot of people, but I am the James Milner of comedy. Like, I will come and do a job.
Yeah.
Like, I will get a 7 out of 10 every week. I'm never gonna be man of the match, mate. But I'm never gonna get brought off at half time. I'm just consistent. I'll get my laughs.
Yeah.
People will be like, "You were funny, mate. You were brilliant. Nice one." That is it.
You're not setting the world on fire.
I am not. No roofs are in danger with me. No fire alarms are getting fucking ripped off the wall for me yet. But no, I'm dead happy with how it's going.
What do you feel like you need to do? Do you want to take it to that next level, or are you happy being this reliable, consistent?
No, I want to take it to the next level, man. I want to be able to write something that's fucking ridiculous and really just like make people go, "That was fucking weird but funny, man."
Yeah.
Like,
how do you feel like you're gonna get there?
Oh, mate, it's just constantly writing. Like, I think that's the thing I struggle with the most is sitting down and concentrating enough and having the ideas. And I don't think that's a unique problem to anyone. Thanks, man. I don't think it's a unique problem to have a bit of writer's block now and then, but mine seems to be every fucking day.
Right.
Like, I'll have an idea and I'll be like, oh, I want to write a routine like this, and then I'll go to do it and I'll be like, there's nothing funny about that, or I'll write something which I think's hilarious.
Yeah, and then you'll try it on stage.
And I'll say it out loud and be like, no. Yeah. Those words are never getting said ever again. But you just work on stuff. Do you know what I mean? That's the joy of comedy, because what else can you do where you can have an idea, say it out loud, and literally get feedback through a laugh or silence, and it's great because it's when I quite like that moment of when you do like a new material night or something and you've got something written down which you've written down either that day or the day before and you think this could be brilliant, and you say it out loud and everyone just looks at you like, what the fuck are you on about? You're like, that's hilarious. That I thought that was gold, mate. I thought that was my Live at the Apollo set right there, but it's going in the bin. I think it's brilliant because you get that awkward silence and sound crossing that one out.
So have you always been this like confident and like outgoing personality, or do you feel like you've opened yourself up or unlocked different parts of yourself through comedy, through that ultimate rejection of standing on stage and being like, fuck, well, I got to deal with this?
I've always been I've always been like this as a person. I've always been quite chatty, quite outgoing, quite sort of outwardly confident.
Yeah.
Never in like an artistic way.
Okay.
I did sort of drama classes as a kid, like really young kid. When my mum and dad split up when I was really young, my mum saw that as an opportunity to put me and my brother in like after school drama school. Okay. I fucking hated it because I just didn't. I wanted to play football and run around with my mates outside. I didn't want to be stuck in a room pretending to be a lion. I just wanted to kick a ball around. But my brother loved it. My brother's still an actor now and he's doing really well. He's down in London, he's doing really well, and I'm fucking dead proud of him.
So you both ended up going creative, even though
it just took me out.
Look like
I took a massive bypass. Like I had loads of different things I wanted to do. I was for quite a few years because I was quite good at football when I was younger. I always assumed when I was sort of 14, 15, I just assumed I'd end up doing that because I was quite good. When you get to 16 years old and you're told you're good but you're not good enough, it's a big shock at 16 years old to sort of be told that what you thought you were going to do for the rest of your life, you ain't doing it.
I think that's a problem with a lot of English kids, and in Australia it's the same with rugby and rugby league. Like the big sport of your country, your dad likes it, you and your dad watch it together. It's your thing, it's your activity, and you're good at it, and you're good at it in your local area, at your club level, you're the best there, and everyone goes, oh, that kid's going to the Premier League, that kid's going to play for the NRL, and you're there being like 11, like, am I?
I can't wait.
Fucking can't wait to kick it with Leroy Sane and the crew. And then it gets to the point where someone that actually matters goes, you're good, but you're not good enough, or you're good, but you need more work.
Exactly. And
it's devastating. Like, you put all your eggs in that basket.
Best thing that ever happened to me, mate. Like, at the time...
You didn't think it at the time.
I cried my fucking eyes out, mate. To be told at 16 years old by a couple of professional clubs that I had trials with, they were like, you're good, but you're not good enough. And that, at 16 years old, I cried my eyes out, mate. Do you know what? But at the time, that was disgustingly horrible. Yeah. I thought it was the worst thing in the world. In hindsight, it's the best thing that ever happened to me because I love football, always have done, always will do. I couldn't live that life.
The life of a football player.
No, mate.
Why not?
They're all twats, aren't they?
Are they?
Yeah, mate.
I don't really know much about
They all do
them, so-
charity work to cover it up, but they're all pricks, really.
Every footballer is a prick, and there's one rule on this podcast, Chris. There's no backtracking. So you write that down.
No, mate, I love it. Don't get me wrong, I love it as a culture and as a sport, but I'm glad that I didn't end up in that because that's just not what I'm like. I'm not that sort of person that is one of the lads, but not one of the lads. I'm not like that.
Yeah, I get you.
It just doesn't appeal to me anymore. So I'm glad I didn't fall into it, and I've come back like we said, like a massive bypass back into an art form. Whereas my brother, when we were dead young, I was like 7 and he was 10.
Yeah.
Doing these sort of drama classes and sort of
Pretending to be alive.
Yeah, Tin Man or whatever the fuck was going on. And he loved it and he was very good at it and sort of stayed in it and is still there and will do it for the rest of his life. Whereas I just didn't want anything to do with it. I didn't think it was for me.
Do you feel like he was born to perform?
Yeah.
Interesting, but you don't feel like you were born to perform?
No, I think people are. Like, I think my brother was, and I've met comics on the circuit that I think when I meet them, you were born funny or you were born to do this.
Yeah.
Whereas I think other people, me included, have to fucking work at it.
Yeah.
And that doesn't mean that we can't get to the same point. I think if you look at the big comics, there are people who are naturally funny people.
Yeah.
That it just comes to them. But I think at the same level, there are people who've worked fucking hard at it and got there by a different route.
Yeah.
I don't think one's better or worse, but I think people have just got to get there the wrong way. And I think I'm the person who has to work fucking hard to get there, to be funny.
Have you heard of a comedian called Hayden Allmark in Manchester?
Name doesn't ring a bell.
Okay. He won the Comedy Store King Gong.
Right.
And has never written any material.
That's the sort of thing.
He gets on stage. I watched his video. It was chaos.
Yeah.
It was like the film Speed, but like the bus was just a fucking wrecking ball, just going through. And he was so funny.
Yeah.
He came dressed in his work uniform from like Foot Asylum, where he sells trainers.
Amazing.
And was just destroyed. And he got off, and the guy that had the gong was go, I've never seen someone make so many mistakes and just be so funny. And I messaged him being like, how's your material changed since then? He goes, I don't write material. He goes, I just like being on stage.
That's brilliant.
And I'm just like, you're fascinating to me.
That's amazing. I'd love to have that skill, but I just can't. I couldn't do it.
I know.
Couldn't do it.
I write it down word for word, everything.
Yeah, I try to have a really decent sort of cemented idea of where a routine goes, and I can sort of break stuff up during it if things are happening or I'm talking to people in the audience that are giving me different reactions or whatever. But I know where a joke starts, I know where it finishes, I know how to get there. But the thought of, I'd love to be able to just walk on stage and be funny, but I'm not that talented. Yeah. And I never will be. It's just not the way it goes. Like you meet some comics on the circuit, they're just fucking brilliant. Yeah. And they can write a routine like that that's fucking amazing. And I need to work at stuff. But then again, when something does work, I feel proud of it because I've fucking spent time on it. Yeah, it's like it's work for payoff. Like when you stand there, like I remember, did you do Beat the Frog World Series? Yeah. Okay. Look, when I came off my heat, I obviously didn't make it through to the final. Same. Not that good, but you know, it is. Were we on the same night? We weren't. No. I think I was on the last one, the last heat. Right. Yeah. I think I was on the first one, but we were both on first. So that's what we both were given the short straw of going on first. I know. We should have won. Fuck Anna Spark. I can say that. She's a bitch. Never mind. No, basically, like, it was the best feeling I've ever had when I got off stage. Like, it was the best delivery of those jokes that I probably said maybe approaching the 30th time by the time I'd stood there. I knew it like the back of my hand. The timing was down, the delivery was down. And I was like, this must be what pro comics feel like. That's the first time I'd felt that. And I got off stage and I couldn't sit down. I was just like pacing back and forth. I was like, oh, that felt good. It's a buzz, isn't it? It's like, a buzz. And I think because it's 5 minutes long as well, that 5 minute sets are shit, aren't they? Because it's fine, but by the time you've sort of got into it, you're off again. Yeah. And doing sort of longer sets, 15s, 20s, whatever, you really can just relax into it, and you don't have to stick to a set routine. You can just fucking chat to people and do whatever. It's brilliant. But because you've got such a short space of time and it goes so fast, you're still like fucking buzzing when it finishes. Yeah, it's a really weird scenario because obviously the more gigs you do, the less time do sort of 5-minute sets.
Yeah.
So when you do them again, it's like, oh shit. It's everything that you get in like a 20-minute set, like a 5.
Yeah, you got to try and condense it.
Exactly,
down.
like the energy and the sort of anticipation and stuff. But it's exciting, isn't it?
So do you, like, what's your favourite part of comedy? Do you really enjoy the on stage, or do you enjoy writing, or do you enjoy like the social aspect of the community that we have here?
The community's great. I think it's one thing that I sort of expected but never thought it would be as supportive and as nice to be around as it has been. And I've been even only in a year and a half, I've been dead lucky to meet some fucking lovely, very funny people from all over the country. Like genuinely lovely people, and people that I'd like to think I will stay in touch with, even if I finish comedy or they do, for years to come. Because it's some just genuinely lovely people that are very talented and very supportive as well. I think people are a lot more supportive of each other in this than they are of a lot of other art forms. My housemate, my best mate, he's a musician in a band that are based around here, and they're doing quite well, generally doing quite well. And you get in music, especially in Manchester, because it's got such a strong music scene, Manchester, bands can be very supportive but can be also very derogatory to each other. They're very supportive of the ones they want to be supportive of, whereas I think comedy is genuinely supportive.
Well, the thing with comedy is that if you're funny, people come to watch you. And I get to be on your show, so I get an audience and I get to prove myself to them, and then they think I'm funny, and then it rolls on. So if comedy is good, there was a post on Facebook, I don't know if you saw this, it was like, there's too many open mic nights in Manchester, it's cheapening comedy, it's taking paid work away from comedians, and it's terrible. And I was like, how can you justify that if there's more open mic nights, means there's more comedians, more people taking an interest in comedy, more people getting up on stage, more people thinking about it as something to do.
Absolutely.
Then you talk to other people, those open mic nights feed into more paid nights. We can have more paid nights, more people, because people want to have a night out at comedy.
Exactly.
Like it's a fun thing for people to do.
And obviously the financial crash of 8-10 years ago, however long it was.
Yeah,
and
I didn't think we'd be bringing up the global financial crisis.
Because it's miserable, mate, and we're always going to go back to misery.
Fucking Grimsby in the house.
And the impending financial crisis we're going to have in the next year. Like, I think everyone.
How do you know this? Is it coming?
Just you wait.
Okay.
We're going to listen back to this in a year's time and be like, fuck, he was right. We're all poor now.
Copestake was onto something.
Yeah. And
it's just to do with Brexit, isn't it?
yeah, mate, we're all going to be poor. It's going to be brilliant.
Like, Britain's going to be poor, not the world.
Oh, no, we're going to be fucked. But I think one thing we learned from the sort of financial crash of 10 years ago is that people still want to go out.
Yeah. Entertainment is the business that never dies.
People will always, no matter how poor they are, will always prioritise like the social aspects, because that's what we're social creatures, you know what I mean? People, even if it's going to the pub with their mates, going to the pictures to watch a film, or going out to a comedy club and watching comedy, people still, I'm not saying that the comedy clubs were busier then or were as busy as always, but people were still going out and wanting to watch stuff. Yeah. And I think it's great that comedy has survived, because it's obviously so much stuff online now that people are still wanting to go out and watch live stuff, especially stuff that's
different.
Free.
Live comedy is different.
It's brilliant.
I never sit here on my couch and laugh as hard as I do watching pro comedians like Bill Burr, Louis C.K.
The big guys, yeah.
You know, the big hitters. If I got to watch them live, like I saw Stephen K. Amos live in Brisbane, right? One of the greatest nights of my life.
Tears.
Oh, but I could sit here and watch the exact same set. It doesn't have the same environment.
Absolutely.
There's a whole room full of people just in it.
Yeah.
Just enjoying it.
There's nothing like it. And like I said, like my housemate and the band is in, and sort of I go watch a lot of live music as well. It's don't get me wrong, live music's fantastic, but there's nothing like going to watch live comedy, be it in a small bar at an open mic night or in a 400, 800, 1200 seated venue watching people at the top of the game. It's brilliant. There's nothing like it, and it's a completely different atmosphere to anything else. And that's why I think a lot of people say comedy isn't an art form. It is. It's just a lot different to everything else.
It's the hardest art form because a musician can hide behind the music.
Yes, if there's a silence, they can cover it with noise. Yeah. If there's a silence in comedy, you can't fucking cover it. Yeah. You've just got to crack on. Paintings, always silent. Yeah. Sculptures, blah blah blah.
Comedy's the hardest because you have nothing else but yourself, and your only measure of success is not how talented you are, it's whether or not they like what you just said.
Exactly. And
it's all up to them.
and humour is so subjective from person to person, town to town, country to country.
Yeah.
And something that's funny to one person in one place will be not funny at all to someone else down the road.
Yeah.
And it's great. That's brilliant. Music's subjective, art's subjective, but comedy is the most subjective thing. 'Cause you either find it funny or not. There's no in between.
Yeah.
And that's the risk that we take, and it's fucking brilliant. I love it. I love being in an atmosphere when anything could go wrong at any time.
Like, do you know Sam Serrano from Liverpool, right? So Sam Serrano, I've worked with him a fair bit. He's done my night here at Binary Bar.
He's great.
It always goes down well here in Manchester. Manchester's a very accepting community, as you've said. A lot of different people, a lot of different backgrounds, all that. I booked him on a gig I have up in Blackburn, right?
Yeah.
Went up there, Blackburn, very narrow-minded, quite racist, quite homophobic, right? He got on stage, didn't do as well, like still did well, but didn't do as well as he usually, and came off and was like, that was terrible, it's all my fault and whatever. And I was like, no, Sam. I was like, you need to understand that these people just have different life experiences to the people you're used to playing to.
Educated differently.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with what you did. Yeah. It's just they didn't enjoy it as much as they enjoyed, like Phil Carr from Stoke, for example, who's very, like, you know, vulgar and like laddie, not laddie, but you know, he's a man's man. He does like man comedy.
Man's comedy. Just gets his dick out and makes it in 5 minutes.
Gets his fucking ball bag out and rubs it on a woman.
Look at this.
Look at this shriveled sack.
My sort of comedy just gets his dick out and measures it. Love it. But that's it. It's right, isn't it? Like, it's so subjective, and unfortunately, people struggle because of how they look or how they sound or what gender they are or the fuck ever. People struggle, and that's because it's not because of them or their comedy or their ability to write or perform. It's because of the audience, and sometimes they're not as accepting or as educated about people and comedy as they should be.
So have you gone back to perform in Grimsby?
No, there's no...
Do you want to?
I'd love to, mate.
But there's nothing.
There's nothing. They have like an auditorium for sort of big circuit gigs.
Okay.
Like you get your Jimmy Carrs and your John Richardsons and stuff playing there. There's no open mic nights. There's no monthly comedy club. I've looked at it. I looked at sort of setting one up, and I just don't think at the minute there's enough there. I'd love to set something up there that sort of runs once a month or something. Yeah. But there's nothing there in the minute. I'd love to, though. I'd absolutely love to, because people in Grimsby have got a really, and I think it's why I am, a really sort of self-deprecating, miserable sense of humour that they can take the piss out of themselves and really can see the funny side of it. But when somebody else tries to do it, they're like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah. Don't you fucking talk to me like that.
Amazing. Like, have you ever, like, Sacha Baron Cohen made the film Grimsby. Yeah. I don't know if you've seen it. I've not watched it myself, but it effectively, the character is a guy from Grimsby and he's a dick, like he's an idiot. And the film sort of takes the piss out of this town, which it never sort of shows. It just references the town and takes the piss out of it. And obviously everyone back home was like, no. But everyone else who has told me to watch it said it's hilarious. Yeah. And we have the ability to laugh at ourselves, but when somebody else is like, "Oi, your town's a shithole," we're like, "We know." I
found that out the hard way.
We know, but yeah.
When I came to England, I loved telling English people all the things they've done wrong.
Oh, and there's so many.
Yeah, and
such a long list.
They didn't like it, especially when.
Where did you start? Did you start at the top, like slavery? Yeah.
I started at dentistry. that was the first one.
All your teeth are minging.
Your teeth look like the surface of the moon. But yeah, it didn't go down amazing. And then I changed, not even the words, but just the way I delivered it. And it just changed the entire thing. Instead of like screaming at them all the things they've done wrong, I'd almost like laugh with them and be like, "Fuck, you guys are fucked." And they'd be like, "Yeah, we are." Instead of being like, "You guys are fucked."
Yeah. Like, we're horrible people. We're such horrible people, man. You know us. You've seen the documentaries. We're horrible people.
So what was it like growing up in Grimsby? I want to hear like a story from your childhood, because these small English town lives fascinate me. Because I obviously had quite a small, like I was born in New Zealand in like a very small like coastal town, and then we moved to Australia and we're still like outside of the city. But our life was like pretty boring and good at the same time.
Yeah, it was a weird one, because it's a small town. It's probably got a population of about 130,000. Okay. So it's there's enough people there. It's not like one of those little villages where everyone fucking knows everybody.
It's like, 4 times bigger than the place I was born.
It's not Emmerdale. It's not like there's 6 people and they're all in the same pub every night. It's not like that. But it's quite far away from another town. Like in the northwest, like where we are now, Wigan, Bolton, Preston, Blackburn, Blackpool. Everything's 10 minutes away from everything else. Whereas Grimsby, our nearest town is like Scunthorpe, which is 40 minutes away.
Scunthorpe sounds like a filthy place.
It literally has the word cunt in it, mate. That's all you need to know.
Scunthorpe.
It literally has the word cunt in it.
Are you guys like mortal enemies with them?
Yeah,
in terms of like football? Is there like derbies that happen and shit?
But it's 40 minutes away.
Okay.
Like round here, like City and United, I get it because people can live in the same house and support it's different clubs, and people at work support different clubs and stuff. Grimsby's come from 40 minutes away. No one knows anyone who supports the other team. It's just they're the nearest thing we have to hate. There's no real rivalry there. But because everything's far away, you've sort of got that isolation of what happens in your town. You've got to go far to experience something else. If we wanted to go see some of the big touring bands when we were kids, we had to get on a train to Sheffield and try and find a way of getting back at 11:30 on a Tuesday. You had to deal with it, and it was fun sort of having that, but you had to work harder to get those big experiences.
Do you feel like they meant more to you?
Yeah, mate. Like going to from people from Manchester, I've always said this. My last girlfriend was from around here, and I always said that she was quite lucky growing up in a city like this because they had all the big bands on their doorstep, all the amazing experiences and things that happen in a big city were just there, and they're just taken for granted. Whereas I think when you're from a small town and you come into somewhere like this, you appreciate it more. Because you sort of take it all in. You're like, look, all the things we can do. Whereas people who are from here, like, there's just stuff on all the time. It's almost they take it for granted, don't they? But I definitely think I appreciate stuff more and experiences more. I did as a kid. Like I'd go in to watch a band that I'd bought a CD from at HMV, and then finding the nearest place on their tour, because it would always be London, Manchester, Glasgow, Newcastle, Sheffield, Leeds, Birmingham. That was pretty much it. So you'd have to travel to Leeds or Sheffield to watch a band, and because you more of an event to it, but more of a happening, like you had to fucking get there somehow and get back somehow. It was more of a mission. It was just the experience was better, and I loved it. And Grimsby's a weird one, mate. Like we were quite lucky. My mum and dad broke up when I was quite young. Like this is a soft story. It happens. Like over 50% of parents break up. My parents broke up when I was about 3, and we were really lucky for my mum. Very low income. My mum, me, and my brother. Very low income family. Like really working class income. But we had a house in quite a nice part of town. So we were like. My mum will hate me for saying this, but we were like the working class people, the rough people, not rough, but you know what I mean?
In the middle class area.
In quite a nice area.
Yeah.
And it sort of, it didn't show, we weren't scruffy or anything.
Yeah.
But like, I'd play for a football team at a weekend and I didn't have to pay subs. You know when you turn up and you pay £3 for the referee and the pitch and stuff?
Yeah.
The blokes who ran the team would turn around to me like, you don't have to pay because we know you don't have the money for it, which was lovely. But at the time I was like, why is that?
Yeah.
People sort of, they can see it, do you know what I mean? So being in that sort of background made me appreciate everything more. Like every little thing, every relationship with family members and all that sort of stuff, it made me appreciate it more. Because I think when you've got less physical things, you appreciate the little...
Your social connections mean more to you than physical possessions.
Oh, mate, absolutely. Like, don't get me wrong, we were never, like, at food banks or anything like that. I never...
Yeah, you were never starving, but I feel like as well, like, you see these kids and they go out to dinner at a nice restaurant like 3 nights a week, and they've got an iPad there, and the dad just gives them an iPad and be like, can you just shut the fuck up while I think about what I'm going to do? Like, but those kids are sad, those kids are lonely because they don't have a relationship with their parents, they don't have a relationship with anyone else except with a screen or except with, you know, a TV. Just pop your kid in front of the TV or give your kid to the nanny. You know,
we had spaghetti bolognese on a plate on a tray in front of the telly 5-6 nights a week, and that was it. We never holidayed abroad,
but you'd hang out together all the time.
Oh yeah, like me and my brother we're very different, but we get on really well because it was just the 2 of us in the house, and
you didn't have much of a choice.
We didn't have much of a choice. And like my mum, like she's genuinely my best mate. Me and her get on so well, like and she's just so supportive of everything and always has been, always will be. Like I couldn't ask for anyone better. And my dad is as well. Like don't get me wrong, I didn't live with him. I've never lived with him properly, but
He was always there.
Yeah.
He's never trying to like fuck up what you had going on either. He was just like, you know, you do you, Chris.
Exactly, like people like who have had divorced parents and stuff, and they've both sort of found new partners and much happier now than they ever were. It's buzzing. I'm so happy that the situation is where it is. But I'm really lucky to have 4 parents that are supportive and give a shit.
Yeah.
Because there are so many people who are in my situation as kids that have completely lost contact with parents, or even worse, lost parents completely.
Yeah.
And I am lucky to be in that situation where I've got 4 supportive parents, because if anything, that's better than 2, isn't it?
Yeah.
But it was weird, mate. Like, being from a small town and sort of being quite inclusive in a small community and not really knowing much about the world that was outside it. We never went abroad as kids. We just didn't have the money for it. I didn't go on a plane until I was like 15.
Wow.
Yeah.
Where was the first place you went on a plane?
Magaluf.
Magaluf at 15. What the fuck?
15, mate. Yeah.
Who took you to Magaluf at 15?
My mate. His parents were going over on holiday, and so they took us with them. So going out on the Magaluf strip at 15 years old with just me and my mate was...
When you'd only ever been in Grimsby, like...
Yeah, mate.
Oh my god! That's a documentary. That's like Kevin and Perry in real life.
My first proper night out was in... I'd sort of been out in Grimsby and Cleethorpes, it's like a little seaside bit.
Yeah.
I'd been out there before at like 15, but only in like pubs. I'd never been on proper nights out. We started going out in town when we were about 16.
I love how you could start going out at 16. See, like, you can't go out until you're 18.
It's a great situation, right? Obviously, like, I'll get back to Magaluf in a minute, but like, going out at sort of 16, 17 years old in a town like that, because no one really gives a shit.
Yeah. And as long as you weren't being a cunt, like, it's alright. Like, you weren't going there fucking smashing shit up. You're just like, I just want to have a bit of a laugh.
Exactly. But the best thing about going out when you're sort of 16, 17, still at school, like year 11, last year of school, is... Obviously, most of our teachers, then we didn't realise it, most of our teachers are our age now. So they were in the mid-20s, late 20s, early 30s. Yeah. They went out on a weekend, they got pissed. And they went to the same places that you did when you were 16. So it was always that weird moment of senior teachers on a night out. Because in theory, they get told that if they see a student in a pub or drinking, that they're supposed to tell the bouncers, tell the bar staff and get you kicked out. But it's a lot more hassle for them because they've got to write it up on the Monday when they get back in. Yeah. So they fucking turned a blind eye to it, mate. It was so much easier to manage. But there was this one, I'm not going to say his name because he was a lovely bloke and I don't want to drop him in it. Yeah. And not that he'd ever hear this, but I just don't want to get back to him. But what about...
This podcast has more reach than
you never know. You never know. You never know who listens, right? But we was in this nightclub, it's called... There's still some of them around in the country, it's called Flares, right? So it's like a 70s, 80s themed pop nightclub. There was one in Cleethorpes, which is our like seaside bit.
This is the most English story ever, mate, I love it.
And there's about 6 or 7 of us, and this really still confuses me what happened right now. There's about 6 or 7 of us just drinking our fucking woo-woos and... what? Like, you know, like you get him in like the big fishbowl shit, like hugging this big woo-woo at 16 years old like an absolute ledge. And we saw a group of our teachers in there, just like group of the lad teachers. Yeah. Like there was our maths teacher, our geography teacher, who also happened to be the football coach for our year. Yeah. Like, they were lads. They were just good lads.
Young guys.
We had a laugh with them during the week. You know what I mean? They knew that we were the sort of people that went out and stuff. They were sound. Yeah. We were sound with them. They were sound with us. So we started chatting to them and like, having a drink with them and stuff. And I turned around to one of them. I'm not going to say his name, but I was like, "Sir," I noticed he didn't have his wedding ring on. Yeah. I was like, "Sir, I thought you were married." And he was like, "I am." He took out his wallet and pulled his wedding ring out of his wallet and put it back away, winked at me and fucked off. I was like, "You dirty bastard." I was like, "This is nuts, mate."
This is crazy. I didn't know you're allowed to take your wedding ring off.
I was like, I thought that was glued on, mate. Like, but then it sort of, I was like, "You dirty prick. Like, that's naughty, mate. You shouldn't be doing that." And there were just lads. And I was like, at the time, that was funny. Now, that's not cool. Yeah. That is so not cool. But I was like, that just...
I thought you were married. I am.
Yeah, literally, you know, like wallets have got that little coin flap. He pulled out his little coin flap, winked to me and put it away. I was like, "You fucking nutter." And it was just like, and that was the sort of time when I realised that teachers are just fucking people.
People, yeah.
Yeah, they're just people, man. And like, they've got their own flaws and they're having affairs and shit with each other mainly.
Yeah.
And I used to love fucking the rumours of...
teachers fucking...
Yeah, mate. Yeah. They thought no one knew about it, but everyone fucking knew about it. They thought they were all really sly, like getting lifts in with each other. And I was like, "You're definitely shagging." Yeah. You definitely. Just because you work in different buildings, mate. Yeah. having it off.
Fooling anyone.
Yeah, having it off in the stationery cupboard on a break time. We fucking know, mate.
I did say famously, because like I'm a bit confused about like where I'm going to be at like 40, and I know you shouldn't think that far ahead.
Yeah.
But I quite imagine a nice life. So my girlfriend is studying to be a teacher right now.
Oh, amazing.
We'll go to Australia.
Primary or secondary?
Secondary. She wants to be
Proper teacher.
religious studies and media studies teacher,
cool.
right? You know.
What, like in one class?
No, different.
Just,
you can double up.
Here's Jesus Christ Superstar for the 5th week in a row.
Yeah, that's right. We're watching
it.
Passion of the Christ.
And at Christmas they get to watch Holy Grail by Monty Python. That's their like Christmas treat. That is media studies and religious studies together. Bye, there you go.
Bang, bang. But if she becomes a teacher, I quite like the idea of being a groundskeeper at a school, right? And I don't
Big
know
set
why.
of keys.
I don't know why, because like I feel like all the money that I'm going to need for my life, I want to have it by I'm like 35, and then just be able to do stuff when money doesn't matter, and I just live for the world.
Yeah, mate.
Like
Mate,
now it's all
what a
about.
dream.
Now it's all about like cash, set yourself up, bang, bang, bang.
Yeah.
And then once you get there and you got this nice life, just be like, I'll just be a groundskeeper for $18 an hour. Like, you know, I'll just...
Bit of fresh air, mate.
Yeah, just fucking mow the lawns, have a chat with the kids. And then I'm like, I could be the groundskeeper in the school that me missus works at. And be like, oi, lass, come down to the back sheds, right, on your lunch break, you know. And just like, we're like, oh yeah, that's, you know, that's Mrs. Watson's husband, you know, he's our groundskeeper, she's our religious studies teacher. And we're just boned in the fucking shed. Like, no sex before marriage, kids, but I'm having sex after lunch. Like, I think that's quite a nice life.
What a dream. Yeah.
Maybe I shouldn't be thinking that far ahead, but
It's nice to have a vision.
I don't mind it. I don't mind it. Pour yourself another drink.
Right, man.
We've done over an hour, mate.
Shit.
Time flies when you're having fun. If people want to follow your comedy career, where do they need to go to? As he takes a sip of water.
Well timed sip of water. So my Twitter and my Instagram are both just at Chris Copestake. It's quite a unique name. I got in there early.
Yeah.
Sort of I post a lot of bullshit on them. Like, again, I think I'm funny when I'm not. So I'll tweet something and I'll be like, that's gold. That's absolute gold.
Yeah.
Nothing. I'm like, fucking guys don't appreciate it.
ITV is going to be ringing me off the hook.
Oh mate, I'm providing a free service on
Twitter.
Yeah, I tweet a lot of shit, and on Instagram I sort of do whenever I'm gigging I like to do stories of sort of my journey, because I gig out of town quite a lot.
Yeah.
I'm quite lucky to sort of gig all over the country at the minute, so I like to do sort of little Instagram stories of my journeys and sort of how it went and stuff. So I've been told that they're always quite fun, so
that's good.
Yeah, have a look at those for us. Obviously I don't have a website or anything because I'm not that up myself yet.
That's alright, mate. You can get there. You're a working class comic.
Yeah, mate. I can't afford a website.
No, that's right.
I can't afford a domain name.
£9 a year for a domain name. What the fuck?
Yeah, what do you mean? It's got to be at Wix.com. I don't fucking want at Wix in my website.
Buy 9 Greg's coffees for that.
Get the 10th for free on the stamp card.
That's right, mate.
Twitter and Instagram, and then just fucking Google it, mate. Like,
just Google.
I've got quite a unique name that if you punch my name into Google, I'm pretty much anything that comes up. There's me and like a guy who sells pies in Sheffield, but that's about it. I'm pretty...
Don't Google my name, because my girlfriend told her family members that I do stand-up, and her mum went to hang out with her grandmother, and they were like, oh, let's watch some of his stand-up. Let's put him into Google. And the first one that pops up is none other than my fire set at the Frog and Bucket, where I talk about when I moved to England. I was like, you know, my parents are so proud of me that I was able to save up and come away. And my mum, she tells all of her friends through church that I'm travelling around Europe. Now, what those people think is that I'm on the beautiful beaches in Greece and doing tours of the Sistine Chapel, but what I'm actually doing is trying not to get kicked out of Wetherspoons every Friday night for smashing cocaine in the toilets, right? Now, her grandmother is like, oh, probably we should switch this off now, Liz. And then so my girlfriend's mum is trying to tell her grandma, oh, it's just a joke. Like, he just says these things as a joke. Rings my girlfriend and is like, what's this? Is that a joke? And then my girlfriend drops me in it and goes, no, it's not a joke. I was like, but it is a joke. I've never been kicked out.
They've never caught me. That's fucking insane, man. Love it.
Be very careful about what you put online. My father did warn me of this when I started doing radio, and then he was like, never broadcast things about our family. And if you've seen my recent sets, it's a pretty hectic video.
Why would you not though? Because families are just a fucking constant.
Mate.
It's just constant material, isn't it? Because
I know.
families are the best thing because they're nuts, and every family's different, and the dynamics of each family and each family member is just fucking nuts.
Yeah.
There's so much material. There's comedians who've made careers out of just talking about their mums.
Yeah.
Greg Davis is one of my favourite comedians, and he's fucking 3 stand-up specials have all been about his mum and dad, and it's brilliant.
My mum and dad are mad as well.
Oh mate, it's a constant fuel of material, mate. Use them.
They never stop. I will.
Always,
My dad rang
always.
me and told me to stop, and I said, yeah, I promise I will. And I just emailed Frog and Bucket, and I was like, remove that one offline, but I'll come film another one next month. I've got more.
Yeah, I'm going to slander him even more.
Shout out to you, John. Thanks for listening. Thank you for coming on, Chris.
My absolute pleasure, mate. Thanks for having us.